So, our next speaker is coming from Ethiopia. And please come, Mr. Samson Tsegaye. And he is as well talking about solar energy. And his topic is how to enable pupils to learn at home. And so this means they need some light in the evening to do their homework. And he has light in students' homes, and he will give us a short description of what he was doing.
Thank you. I'm Samson Tsegaye from Ethiopia. I'm a country director of Stiftung Solar Energy, or Solar Energy Foundation, a German-based international NGO in Ethiopia. We are active there in Ethiopia since 2005 by disseminating solar technologies for the people, for the rural part of Ethiopia, and also train solar technicians in Ethiopia. Today I just will say a little bit about the current activities we do because of different issues that we can't do what we used to do before. Previously, the foundation in Ethiopia distributes solar home systems, water pumping, and other things for the people with kind of minimal share or payments from the users. We do this not to collect money or to make profit out of it, but to make it sustainable. But since last 2 years, 3 years ago, the government put a regulation that NGOs cannot do kind of like activities, cannot collect money for kind of activities, and they told us to give it for free. And then since then, the foundation gets big challenges and problems. Donors cut their donations because it could not be sustainable projects. And so we reduced our size. We were about 100 people, 100 staff working for the foundation. Now we cut down to 12 people in the foundation. But a year ago, we saw different things, a different approach. As we have to give it for free, which way is better to do or to go? Then we came up with this idea. Maybe you can see the students are doing their homework outside before it gets dark. Because no light at home, it's difficult for them. I'll go through them. Ethiopia now close to 100 million people. We are growing very fast. And 85% of this live in the rural. And only 7% of these people have access to electricity. The landscape for the rural community is challenging. Infrastructure is an issue. There is no road, no water supply, no medical service, or schools like that. Schools are very far from the village, and students has to walk long distances to go and back home every day, like 10 kilometers, 5 kilometers, depends on their situation. And also students, or kids or girls or boys, they're responsible at home also. They have to do the fetching woodwork, firewood, fetching water, bringing. It's very hard responsibility for them. So they have to go to school, come back, do their household chores things, and do their homework is impossible for them. And as I said, as I mentioned it before, they don't have electricity at home. They use kerosene, and kerosene lamps is not really helpful for them to do their homework, and they don't have the appetite even to do it when they're back home. There's another picture that before dark they have to do their homework. And there are many dropouts from schools. They're coming, like the first year you can see like 100 numbers in school, but after a month or 2 months, they reduced, or the classroom of students reduced, and maybe at the end, they have maybe 10 or 5 students remain in the classrooms. And even what we saw, what we learned from the rural schools, their maximum grade is around up to grade 8. after grade 8, they have to move to the next city, and it's impossible and difficult for them. So families decide to keep them home and do their, better if they help them at home. So the dropout is challenging, and only few graduates are at the end. Then we came up with a solution, as we have to give it for free. We don't want to give it for households, and we decide to work with the students in the schools. We provide them a very small solar solution. It's a solar lantern. When they're back home, they can have the light, they can do their homework. It's not only bringing the light for them. It's a challenge for them to be competitive or to compete with the students who are coming from the urban areas, because they have to walk back home before it gets dark. They have to do their homework and to come with their readiness the next day. But it's impossible for them. When they're back home, it's dark and they have to do other things. No light at home, they have to go to bed. In the morning, they have to wake up early and go to school again. So to solve this, we came up with this idea. We started this last year with 2 schools, around 1,000 students, 500 from one school and 500 from the other school. We provided them this lantern. It can help them to do their homework, and also can help the family that they can have light at home. So they can be ready for the next day to do by doing their homeworks or study or something like that. And we deliver 1,000 lanterns last year, and we expect to do this for the next 5 years, 4 more years to deliver these equipments. But we still have a problem or challenge to collect funds for this activity, but we're still trying. And we expect more graduates from the schools in the next year. These are our solar technicians. When last year they graduate from college. This is what I have for today. Thank you.
Thank you very much for this nice story, and I hope you will successful not only for 1,000 students, but then for everybody who is going to school. Are there questions? Yes, over there, please.
Thank you. I'm Andre from Freiburg University, and I have a different point of view. And so, how about if the students now having problems with doing their homework, and they don't have time to do that, and then they don't have the electricity, the lights to do that? How if the school just remove the homework at all? I mean, well, that's probably also what makes the problem, that they don't have any more time to do their household, and they feel like they are so busy with that. That's why they drop out from school. Yeah, just an opinion. Thank you.
Thank you. It's a nice question. Yes, we will advise our teachers to avoid homeworks, but this is their duty to do it, I think, and they cannot separate you don't have homework and you have homework for other students. This was the best solution we found out to solve this problem. But the other way to solve this problem is to bring the school close to them. And then they can walk a very short distance, so they can do their homework before it gets dark. Any question?
Okay, my name is Makala. I come from Tanzania. I have 2 questions. One is this solar lantern, are you giving them for free to the students? And the second one, if you are giving them free, what is your source of funds, and how will this be sustainable in the long run? And also, how durable they are, the lantern, because they can break, and once they break, how the student will cope with getting the replacement.
Okay. Good. When we thank you for the question. First of all, the foundation is responsible for, as I mentioned earlier, we can't make it like sustainable like how we do it before. Previously, when we deliver the product, customers should pay an installment, at least the cost of the product, and no other costs. But at this point, we were pushed by the government to give it for free. So we gave it for free, but we're working on its sustainability. The students, they have to save small money monthly, like very small money, like 1 birr, Ethiopian money, every month to replace kind of like a battery. This lantern, battery life is around 5 years. So at least it can help them to go some time, and we will see how we can replace the batteries after 5 years. And the lanterns are assembled by our company in Ethiopia, so the after-sale service will not be an issue, or component replacement will not be an issue for us. We will help them to solve this problem. Yeah, as I said, the product is really very strong and durable. For them, and they keep it home. They don't bring it to school every time, but we ask them to bring and show us to the director every 2 months to just check if they keep it home or sell it or give it to someone. So they have to bring to the school and show and get signature from the director. This is how we control the sustainability now. Okay.
Okay. Gerhard Knietz, Viable World Design Network. I have a question to the social situation. So if these students learn more, what do they do when they leave school then? Then you don't need, for light you need watt, but for engines and all kinds of equipment you need kilowatt. And so how do you think about the development of the society? Will they all go to foreign countries, or do they go to cities, or how do you think about this situation?
Yeah, clear. Yeah, mainly after they graduate, if they graduate, they will go to cities, big cities. But we're trying to bring them back to their village and support their families. And the schools, what we see in rural schools, even the teachers who are coming to these schools, they are like bored ones, or the managers, when they don't like them, they send them to rural schools because there is no any infrastructure in these schools. So families decide not to send even their children to school because with what they see from the teachers are drunken at daytime and showing on the street. And so the family says, if I send my student to school and if the India's like this, it's better if I keep them home and helping or keeping the being shepherd or helping to collect water or firewood like that. So we also working on this one. Our training center is in a rural village, in Rema village we call it, and so we're trying to bring back the students who are graduated or educated in high school. So we want to bring them back and helping the people again. Again, that
Countryside can support the exploding population in your country. Population is multiplying.
yes, it's growing. Yeah, it's growing. Many migrate to the cities again from rural areas because the infrastructure is not there. But I don't know, maybe the education can change this to reduce the mortality or fertility. Yeah?
Yeah, I have two questions. One is following to Andre. Wouldn't it be a good idea to have 1 hour more at school and they're making the homework so that they have also help from each other, because at home they are sometimes very alone. And so you have a silent hour or whatever at school where you can do this work. First question. Second question, have you ever thought about, I'm also the chair of the Cradle to Cradle Association, have you ever thought about only renting the lamps so that they pay a very little fee and you keep the ownership of the lamp, and then they get it back to you, and you have then the materials to make a new one. And you have also the very, very dangerous materials like batteries and so, and keep the responsibility for that. So, and you have also, if they pay a little fee a month for that, then you have also the incentive that they keep it very well.
Okay, thank you. The first one is after they finish school, they have to run home before it gets dark, because it's long distance. And they have maybe, it's dangerous also to walk in the evening, so they have to run back home. Some can do, some families, they send their kids to stay in that village. They pay a room fee there, they rent a room for them and send them food and like that. But it's not like the kids feel lonely in the other cities. They are very small, and staying in the village like that is not really helpful. Yeah, even 1 hour. They finish at 5, for example. They need minimum 2 hours to go back for most of them. And it will be really, really dark, and it's a challenge for them. But for some of them could be a solution to finish their homework at school and back. The other one is renting the lamps, which is not, we are not allowed to do it. That's why we gave it for free, but we ask them to save small money monthly to replace a small component like the battery in 5 years. This is how we manage it. And in 5 years, if they have to replace the battery, we collect the batteries and give them the new one. This is our deal with the students. With their families normally, not. You can see here in the picture, students with their families sign agreement with us to have their lamps. Did I answer that?
Just a simple technical question.
Okay.
Is the lamp LED, and how do they charge the lamps?
It has, I didn't bring the whole component. It has a solar panel, and it's an LED inside, and a very bright, 300 lumen brightness LED, and it's more than enough for the rural household.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Actually, as you said, the demand is so high because, as I know, Ethiopia is not different from Tanzania. The majority of the local communities are living in the rural, and you are still only working into schools. And I am sure there are so many hundreds or thousands of schools which really demand the same service. What's the role of your company in excelling the service to other schools? That's number one. But second, there's also neighbor countries like Tanzania, Kenya, and the other countries who are also face the same problem. Do you have any other future plans to expand your program to the nearby countries? And if yes, how can you explain that?
Thank you. The first one, yeah, as NGO, we cannot do everything, or we cannot do deliver this service for whole schools. One side, we check the students who really are far from the school, from the schools we choose, we select, and we deliver this service. We are the only NGO in Ethiopia working on solar technologies, and it's really challenging for us now to find funds to do more. But we don't want to do like every time like this way. With this approach, we can also introduce the technology, and people can understand it and also can buy it when they need it. It's just showing them how it works and how durable it is, how much service they can get from out of it. That's why we established now the assembly locally in Ethiopia. We assemble it in Ethiopia. We also selling the products for people through microfinances and companies in rural areas also. And to go to the, there's another question. This will cost like $35. Yeah. Yeah. And the other question is to come to the neighboring countries. We have a lot to do in Ethiopia. As I said, only 7% have access to this, and we have to do a lot. But we can share our experience if you are in need of that.
Perhaps you could sell them in Europe for $60 and the $30 go to the kids?
If you help me, that is a nice idea. Yes. Exporting is it's a nice supportive activity in my country. So if you need it and if I export it, I will get more money. Help me on that.
Thank you for your good presentation, Samson. Yes. I want to ask about how, when once it's charged, the battery, how many hours does it has? For example, if the student forgot to expose it to the sun one day and then the next night
Okay.
it doesn't.
Thank you. Once I fully charge it, it has a brighter, the dimmer on the on-off switch. You can dim the light and use for longer hours. Like if they use the first level, they can use it for around 100 hours. If they use the last one, it's 300 lumen, very bright, they can use it for 3 hours. It's more than enough to do their homework. And they can recharge it fully in the next sunny day. If they use the middle, like 100 lumen, we call it, and they can use it for 10 hours. It's more than enough, even for a night. They need maybe 3 to 4 hours a day. Did I answer that? Okay, thank you.
So hands up, who wants to buy one?
So I have to come with a stock next time.
Next time, yes. Okay, our time is
Thank you.
nearly over. Thank you for your talk. I would like to